Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the Revv G3 versus the Revv G20. So I've had some kind of mixed opinions on the G series pedals in the past. I think that was ultimately because at the time I was trying to use them strictly as preamp pedals like I would my KSR series, i.e. directly into an interface, sometimes without even using a power amp to kind of shape it. The series for sure can do well in that situation. I think that the Revv G3 and G4 are not so much, but we're gonna kind of try. We're gonna try it with a power amp today, at least. We're gonna try it in both. We're gonna try the G3 both into the clean channel of the G20 and into the power amp of my Boss tube amp expander. And the whole while we're just gonna compare it to what the G20 does. May or may not use an overdrive in this pedal. I'm more so just concerned about the differences and similarities between this pedal and the amp. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. First off, we're gonna the G20 is the G3 is running into the G20's clean channel. Alright, yeah. See, so there, I forgot to adjust the EQ on the amp back to noon. But, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have your amp set to noon. This is why I tend to prefer not to do too much with distortion pedals, because there's so many variables that go into it. But that said, I quite enjoyed both of those sounds I just got out of the G20 running into the clean channel. To my ears, unless something magical happens in this next clip where we shoot this going into a preamp pedal, going into a power amp, I think the G series is very much better suited if you're trying to play modern metal as a distortion pedal running into a clean channel. But that said, let's go ahead and send this into my Boss tube amp expander's power amp and see how that does. Alright, as I said, so now the G3 is running into the power amp of my Boss tube amp expander, and now y'all are hearing this through my cab IRs instead of the my actual speaker that you heard a minute ago. So yeah, right now the tube amp expander is set up to mimic the sound of my torpedo captor, which the Revv is running into, which the G20 is running into. So we'll do that first. We'll have a more direct comparison, and then at the end I'll dial in the tube amp expander, how I would use it with the G3, just to see how I think it can potentially best sound with the preamp. I mean with the power amp. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, in this case, I for sure prefer the amp itself, the G20. But with that said, let's go ahead and just focus on the G3 and the tube amp expander. So to me, that sound doesn't have enough bite, high end, probably some mid range. And all I really want to do here is increase the presence of the tube amp expander, see what that does for us. Alright, there we go. We can kind of leave it there. So basically, at that point, I personally feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle to get a sound that I really like out of the G3, where I could just plug it into a clean channel and it's a lot more pleasant. Particularly into the G20, I really like the sound of this pedal going to its clean channel. That said, it kind of reminds me of videos I've seen on the G20 itself. Like I said, some of the G20 videos sound great, some of them sound not so great. I've definitely seen some YouTube videos where they plug the G3 directly into a power amp and it sounds fine. I think they did a comparison between this and one of the bigger amps and it sounded really good into the power amp. So I'm not sure what the discrepancy is, but I have to date never gotten really great results running the G series pedals into a power amp or direct to interface. But I do think they sound really good into a clean channel. But anyway, that's just my opinion and my findings. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Share the video with somebody that you think might like it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. But yeah, you guys take care.